Hello, Oregon Synod. This is Pastor Melissa Reed, one of the Bishop's Associates, and I am here with one of our new pastors, Rachel Kramer. Rachel may be familiar to you if you've been around the Synod for years, because so has she. You might remember her as the mission developer for Third Space, which was one of our emerging ministries and new starts. And you also may have come across her over the last 15 years at Trinity and Gresham, where she also had many jobs and wore many hats. And now she is in her first call as the pastor of Calvary in Hillsboro. So good to have you with us, Pastor Rachel. Thank you so much for letting me welcome you to the Synod and introduce you. So, yeah, I want to start just by talking about this new call, your first call to Calvary in Hillsboro. What excites you about this call?
So many things. It's really been like from the get-go, like from the very first moment of the very first interview, such a great experience because it's such a fun community out there. They've been through a lot, and it definitely through things that could leave you jaded or, thinking the end is nigh, but they're so happy. Like they're so joy-filled and excited and willing to try new things. Beautiful. In a wonderful way. They're very they want to be able to open their doors to the neighborhood around them without any expectations, and just be able to provide that space of being that I think a lot of the world is desperately looking for. And so it's, in a word, it's just really fun because they're having fun. And I don't feel like I'm pushing them to do things they don't want to do. They're all lined up to be like, what are we going to try next? It's been a very joy-filled community, even after some hard times for them.
That's beautiful. Let's share the good news that in doing new things, we can find joy, and then opening our doors and being more generous, I guess, with ourselves and our relationships and our space. That can be fun. It doesn't have to be scary.
They're very good at seeing the abundance that they have, where others might be more concerned with scarcity. They realize that they are small but mighty, that they do have the ability to do some cool things, and they're doing it. So
mustard seeds.
Yeah.
So I'm curious for you, Rachel, as you've entered into this new season of ministry, because you've been in ministry for years, but as an ordained, called pastor with this congregation, what are the experiences, people, perspectives? What are the things that have influenced the way you approach your call, approach your leadership?
Gosh, there's probably pages and pages and pages of names of pastors, professors, friends, family, congregants who have taught and guided me to be where I'm at today. And I don't want to say some, forget others. So it's I'm going to answer this. Yeah. So I'm going to, pardon the neighbor's dog. I'm going to instead list four things.
Yeah.
3 people, 1 thing. Mr. Rogers Uh,
I love that.
Bob
He's
Ross.
a Presbyterian
I know.
minister. Yep. Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, LeVar Burton, and VeggieTales.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of time, but I need you to just say at least a sentence about each of them.
So Mr. Rogers for being an exceptional welcomer and looking at marginalized communities and shining light and making everyone feel welcome. Bob Ross for teaching us that there's only happy little mistakes, that you can't mess it up. It's always going to be good.
Yeah.
LeVar Burton for reminding us that reading and learning is a powerful gift. Mm-hmm. And VeggieTales for reminding us that silly songs are wonderful.
There's a playfulness to your approach to ministry that I'm hearing that I love. I love that. Thank you. Yes, more of that, please. And so I guess my next question is a little more personal in a way. For you, Rachel, where or how do you experience God in your life most profoundly? Like what are the kinds of moments or the spaces, the places that God feels palpable to you?
Have on my screen in the background, I'm working on the Sunday service.
Yeah.
There we go. That question really, like, I just immediately was like, oh, the current Sundays and seasons, sending blessing is the God who calls across the cosmos and speaks in the smallest seed. Bless, keep, and sustain you now into the end of the age. It feels like a cop-out to say it, but it's everything. It's stargazing and the new images from the new telescope that go as far out as we've ever been able to see. It's as localized as, I was talking with someone the other day, Calvary in our backyard. We have this huge community garden. And I was just in amazement how just a few months ago, it was just empty plots of dirt ready for people to start doing their gardening. And just now it's filled with like very tall sunflowers and stalks of corn and tomatoes and just like a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Has just poofed into existence in a way that, like, as someone who's not a very good gardener, feels divine and magical, because it's just how that's possible. I experience the divine when I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see posts from people asking questions in need of support, and thousands of people are commenting to help, to be there for a complete stranger. And I experienced the divine when I just watched the people around me, the world around me. So much of media and stuff makes the world feel pretty dark and sad and doomed. But when you kind of take a moment to pause and to look around, it's kind of like the Mr. Rogers quote, but like you look around, you see the helpers. Like there are just everyday people helping other everyday people. And that's where the divine is. That in the midst of the really hard and the really murky and mucky, the spirit is still there. There's still light in that darkness. And that's kind of what fuels me and keeps me going. It's that light that doesn't go away, even in the hard times.
Beautiful. I love how you went from like the cosmos to TikTok. And then to the people that you get to witness on a minute-to-minute, day-to-day basis. You really said it, everywhere. And even the wheres we don't even know exist. Just the idea of that. Well, Pastor Rachel, thank you so much for having a conversation with me this morning. We are so excited we got to keep you in our synod.
Yeah, I'm very excited too.
And the mutual blessing between you and Calvary Lutheran. It sounds like a joy. Thanks so much. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.